states always tell you the same story. They say they work for financial stability. RIFA talks about growth and opportunity. But when you look close to date, a more annoying reality appears. The states used secret financial games to keep ordinary people poor for centuries and collect wealth above. And these games are not new. It has repeatedly been repeated from ancient times to date, only the names and packaging have changed. But the purpose has always remained the same: the majority keep addicted and collect strength in the center. This story relates to a system and historical arrangement, not with conspiracies as most people think. Because financial exploit becomes invisible when most effective. People do not notice they are bloody. They think they are free of them, until they understand that they are actually poor when they look at their accounts. Let's start with the oldest and simplest of these games. Inflation. There are two options when a state cannot afford taxes spent by collecting. Or the fact accepts and clearly increases tax, which is politically dangerous, or silently lowers the value of money. That's why everyone's money in the pocket is less than being noticed. This is a method that has been used repeatedly in history. Ancient Rome was the master of this technique. In the 3rd century, the emperors began to reduce the silver rate inside the silver currency called denarius to finance their army. Nobody noticed. But money over time turned into almost completely copper. The state claimed that he continued to use the same money, but the power of public purchases collapsed. People in a night become poor. This was a quiet tax from the public. Today, the same thing is done with central banks instead of darphanes. Another version of this game appeared in the Middle Age: mandatory debts. The kings in England, France and Spain have ordered rich merchants and dolphins borings. These debts were volunteered on the paper. In fact, refusal was meant to be placed in the presence of goods, jail or exile. The kings continued to battle, the palaces grew, the merchants lost their money or paid back with unworthy coins. This was a game. It was decorated with bullying, preaching and task concepts. The game became more sophisticated when it comes to the century. Bank of England was founded. According to the official statement, this was the birth of modern finance. But in reality, the goal was simple: the state had to finance battles. Riches borrowed to the state, paid interest in return. Where did these interests be paid? With taxes received from the public. So while riches gain safe interest, ordinary people finance this interest. This model was so successful that today still protects its validity. Making debt to the states is considered the most secure investment in the world. Because the price is always paying public. These games in modern world have become much more complex. The states are taking huge debts, tolls are extracted, and it says it is done for public service. But the big part of the money is going to defend companies, large firms, and rescue packages. Belt tightening when the crisis arrives at no time cannot start from above. Taxes are increasing, social spending is cut, money is printed. Borkenload is public, returned to investors. 2008 financial crisis was the most obvious example of it. Banks received incredible risks, the system brought the threshold of collapse. What happened? The state saved banks. People paid. Banks grew more. The name of this game was simple: profits were customized, the damages were socialized. And this was sold as "save the system." Even the pension systems are part of this game. People work for years, deposit money by trusting the state. But in most countries these coins are not kept in a side. Parkeneer. Instead of promises on paper are left. It is assumed that future generations will pay this bill. The system crashes when the population is older. Then the salary under the name reform is reduced, the age of retirement is raised, or the value with inflation is dissolved. Again, the price pays the public. The biggest trick in modern age is complexity. Thousands of page tax laws, financial products that no one can understand, non-transparent budgets. This mess is not accidental. People cannot question if they cannot understand the system. You cannot resist a robber that you see. People in Rome were seeing silver inside the money. Today there are hidden games under bilancio tables. Why is now important? Because these games are speeded. Inflation savings melt. Debts are growing. Recovers normalize. The money is constantly manipulated. After all, people are working more, but they have less real wealth. Date tells us this is not an error. The system itself. And the most painful side of the work is that even most people don't notice these games. Inflation is natural. Taxes accept fate. Recovery is required. These games for an unfamiliar society can continue forever. But the date also shows these games are less damaging. Financial literacy is a defense. Economic history is a weapon. The system is the biggest error to assume it works for you. The system protects itself. You have a detail for it. The games that make the Roman citizens poor are played today. Only with more modern words. The only difference is, you don't notice the game once. If you don't notice, the date will also answer. If you notice, you are prepared at least. Because the date does not repeat. But they always punish those who ignore him. If this video gives you a different perspective, subscribe. Date responds. I'm going to show you where to look at.